Now, I don't need to see all these documents. I don't need to see that the U.S. government's lying. I don't need to go. I mean, I know that. Now, the local weather stations and governments, and other ones aren't. In fact, they're all going, wait a minute, all the numbers you use for your model are a lie. And then they get caught. I mean, this is fraud, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they operate. But I saw Robert Kennedy Jr. on PBS today, and I only watched him about 20 minutes, and then I flipped over some other channels. But the point that I flipped back, and there were more lies, and there were so many lies. I was writing notes. I had to get physically off the treadmill. That's when I watch TVs and write notes. And that's why I said, forget it. My workout's more important than this. I can't jog and jump off and write notes. I'm just going to flip to something else. But in 1 minute, I heard him tell 3 lies. 1 minute. Now all these are easily verified lies in seconds. The guy they're talking about being the environmental chief who's going to basically, like the mafia, squeeze money out of everybody and all human activity. He said we're going to have a carbon-free economy. Carbon will be outlawed. Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, carbon is in everything. Everything you do. All industries connected to carbon. Carbon is not bad. It's part of life. We're a carbon-based life form. That's why this is such a joke. Plants breathe carbon dioxide. He went on to say the United States only has 1% of the world's oil and natural gas. Ladies and gentlemen, what the federal government admits in Alaska is as much oil as is in Saudi Arabia. They just won't let us have it. There is a 600 square mile area starting about 70 miles up the coast of Louisiana. And I've linked to this. It's official government announcements. They found it in the 70s. They laid it off use. More oil than Saudi Arabia. 600 square mile area in our water. Okay, Jack? Anywhere you drill in Texas deep enough. I mean, they're drilling. Fort Worth looks like a oil field now. They got oil rigs. They're in people's yards, the gas fields. It's just everywhere. From Fort Worth to Houston now, they have discovered a field, ladies and gentlemen, gas-wise, that puts Venezuela to shame. You go down to 15,000 feet, basically anywhere, and so much gas comes out of the ground that the rigs, after they drill them, I mean, they leave these 5-story nozzles on them. They're so huge. Drive out to East Texas, anywhere. Everywhere you drive, it's nothing but giant derricks drilling or giant nozzles where the rig has come in. Guess what else is coming out of these? Helium. All sorts of other great gases. All sorts of other exotic oils. Folks, there's so much oil. The Russians have found so much oil. There's oil everywhere. There's gas everywhere. When they drill these wells in East Texas, from Fort Worth all the way to Houston, just one giant gas field, they hit oil 4 or 5 times on the way down, and there's so much gas, they don't even want the oil. They just cap it off. They start drilling on average a 15,000-foot well, and they hit oil at 1,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 16,000, but just oil. They'll hit gas over and over again, and they just greedily keep digging down to that super mother lode, ladies and gentlemen. And this little bastard, this little liar, he knows. He comes on and tells you there's artificial scarcity, just like the De Beers and the Oppenheimers, with the diamonds claiming diamonds are scarce when they're not even hardly semi-precious. In Africa, they just lay around on the ground everywhere. But they have a monopoly over it, so they have giant warehouses all over Europe. This is admitted. So see, it's the same thing. Oil, they're telling you there's no oil, and they're claiming the economic crisis is because we're on an oil economy. They want feudalism. They don't want a free market. He told a bunch of other lies. It was just disgusting. That rat bastard.